Why do friendships in the furry fandoms feel so intense? And why do they hurt so much? Well, friendships in the furry fandom don't feel like normal friendships. They form really fast, they feel deep, and when they fall apart, it can feel devastating. If you ever wondered why losing a friend in the furry fandom hurt more than you expected, well, this video is for you. Hey, I'm Autumn, and if you're new here, welcome in. And if you watched my last video about emotional exhaustion in the furry fandom, this is sort of a continuation of that conversation, or a part 2 of that conversation. I read a lot of your comments, and I was actually kind of surprised on how much a lot of you related to that topic. And I'm pretty sure you're probably going to relate to what I have to say about this. So, like I said, I want to talk to you about why friendships in the furry fandom feel so intense, why they form so quickly, why they feel so meaningful, and why they can hurt so deeply when something goes wrong. In the near end of this video, I'll talk about what actually helped me form healthier friendships without losing that sense of closeness. So to begin, we find each other when we need it most. A lot of furries, like myself, don't really join the fandom at the best moments of their life. Many of us come in feeling isolated, feel misunderstood, we feel lonely, and of course, we feel different. And then suddenly you find people who, they just get you. And when someone meets you at that vulnerable point in your life, that bond forms pretty fast, and it feels powerful. These friendships don't really start casually, they start emotionally. The furry fandom, quote unquote, becomes a sort of like chosen family. And for some people, their family just doesn't understand them. Their identity isn't accepted, or they just don't feel safe being themselves around when they were growing up. So the friends in the furry fandom become people who celebrate you, people who obviously show up to cons for you or with you, and the people that you trust your true self with. And when someone feels like family, losing them just hurts differently. Friendships form really fast online. And I can tell you a lot of friendships, including a lot of mine, have started on my phone, through Telegram. And you start to talk every day, and you share art, and you vent, and you stay up late messaging each other, and you start doing all this cool stuff. Without realizing it, you skip these slow stages of a normal friendship. You bond deeply before you even seeing each other, how you handle conflicts or boundaries, or really put any sort of like stress on this relationship. And that intensity feels amazing at first, but it makes the breakups just that much harder, especially later on. Now, when we go to conventions, that just obviously supercharges everything, because now you're spending full days together, you're having emotional moments, whether they're positive or negative. You're up super late like myself. I'm usually up till like 2 or 4 in the morning because I really want to maximize my time at a convention. And oftentimes there's physical closeness, whether if it's hugs, cuddles, or even more. In 3 days or 4 days, whatever it is, it can feel like you've lived a long time together and you just been together for a very long time, but it's only been those 3 to 4 days. And then when you go home, that bond just doesn't fade. The distance just makes it that much more fragile. So when friendships in the furry fandom end, you don't just lose a person. You lose that safe space, you lose a routine, you lose a shared identity, and sometimes an entire friend group. And because a lot of our friend groups or cliques, they kind of overlap, one fallout can ripple through everything. And that's why it can feel like your whole world just shrank overnight, especially when you're put on blast on the internet. Now, the online dynamics or the spaces don't really allow for a quiet distance, because you can still see their posts, you can still see their art, you still see their friends, if not interacting with their friends, and there's really no like clean break. And that constant reminder just keeps that emotional wound open longer than what it should be. Now, this doesn't mean that you're too attached, and if you ever thought, why am I taking this so hard? You're not weak, you're not dramatic, you just formed a real connection in a space that encourages emotional openness. And of course, it mattered. A lot of people quietly blame themselves, even myself, I've done this before, and there's just nothing actually like quote unquote wrong. It's just how it is. So, how do you protect your heart going forward? Over time, I've learned a few things that help. Let friendships grow at a healthy pace, which, to be honest, I still need to work on that. But key parts of your life outside of the fandom. Again, another thing that I need to keep working on, but I've gotten a little bit better at it. And obviously set boundaries without guilt. And finally, accept that some people are just seasonal. And that sounds kind of messed up, but as you get older, you start to realize that more and more of these friends or people that you interact with are just, in fact, seasonal. And not every intense friendship is meant to last forever. And that doesn't make it any less meaningless. So, finally, friendships in the furry fandom feel intense because they're built on authenticity, vulnerability, and a shared identity. If you've lost someone important in the fandom, I hope that you know that what you felt was real and it mattered. Take care of your heart, let yourself keep connecting, and just be a little bit more gentle and cautious about taking that emotional plunge into that friendship. So, like I said in the previous video, if this video resonated with you, please feel free to share your experience in the comments. I read every single comments, like I did in the previous one, and like I said, you're obviously not alone, even if it feels like you are right now. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourself, and of course, I will see you on the next video. Bye!